time. We're going to get started. We'll go to Jim Sumner, Jason Evans, and then Josh Graham. Jim, go ahead.
Man, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Word on the street is you put on a lot of weight since the end of last season, presumably good weight. Can you tell us how that happened during a pandemic and how you see that benefiting your game?
Yeah, for sure. I got home around mid-March last year, took like a week or two off since the season ended, and just try to focus on just eating right, eating a lot, and just stay working out and lifting. I got with our strength coach, Coach Will, 3-4 times a week we lifted. So just doing that every day during quarantine. I was lucky enough to find a gym and a weight room. So I was blessed with that. So I think just doing that day by day until I came back to Duke on August 2nd was really a benefit for me.
So how do you see that impacting your game?
I feel like it's going to impact a big part of my game because, a knock on me was, I was a little lighter guarding the four. People would try to take advantage of me down low. But I feel like this year, especially on defense and also on offense, just like attacking it, be stronger with the ball and just taking contact and finishing over taller defenders.
You see yourself playing more on the blocks?
Yeah, I think coach has been using me a lot of different ways on the perimeter and the blocks if there's a mismatch. Just trying to be an attack one all game.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Jason Evans next. Jason, go ahead.
Hey, Matt. Jason Evans, Duke Basketball Report podcast. By the way, Jim Sumner just stole like my first 3 questions. So rather than your own individual development, I wanted to talk about the team for a moment. DJ Stewart told us just last week that when I asked him who'd been the most impressive player in practices, he said it was you. So let me ask you the same question. Who do you think has been the most impressive player? Who's the guy who's kind of surprising you a little bit when you guys get together and play?
For me, I think it's Mark Williams. I think just seeing him as one of like a really good shot blocker. I didn't see much of him in high school, but seeing him live and playing against him, shot blocker. He tries to block everything. Sometimes he goaltends, but most of the time he blocks it. So I think just having that rim present really helps. And then he's more skilled than people think. Like he can like we can give him the ball and he can score a basket for us. So I think Mark Williams really stood out for me in the first couple of weeks of practice.
Have there been specific combos of players that you've mostly been working with? There's lots of talk and speculation. People are wondering, is this going to be a year that Duke plays 10, 11 guys?
Yeah, for sure. We have 11 guys that can play, significant minutes. It's not going to be just a starting 5. It's not going to be, a couple guys, 1 or 2 guys off the bench. It's going to be a whole team collective effort for us to win games this year.
And that kind of leads me to my last question, and then I'll be done. Talk to me about how the team do you think is going to play this year? We've heard a lot of guys talk about playing a little bit faster pace than in the past. Is that what you see Duke doing?
Yeah, we have, especially the freshman class, we can get out in transition. They're all athletic, playing a little faster, getting out in transition is really going to benefit us because, we have so many players that could play very well and a lot of minutes. So I think just using our players that could play and using that to our advantage.
Folks, just real quick, in order to maximize Matt's time and respect his time, if you have one question and a follow-up to that, we'd appreciate it. And if you have another question, you can get your hand in the queue for a follow-up later on. But we'll go to Josh Graham, then Aaron Beard. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Matt. Josh Graham, Sports Hub Triad in Greensboro. Before I get to my question, I just want a clarification on the picking up of weight. It was reported that you picked up 15 pounds. Is that accurate? And was there a coach that challenged you to do so?
Right now, playing weight, I'm about 240. So playing weight last year was around 220. So it's about 220 or about 20 pounds of muscle. And then I think it was more like just like being motivated to like get better and to see like the feedback from my coaches, just try to get better during quarantine.
And the question I had, what last week Coach said on Reddick's podcast that the day of the national championship game, at around the time the game would have been tipping off in Atlanta, you guys all got together on a Zoom call and he was wearing a suit and gave you guys a pregame speech. I see you smiling. What do you remember about that speech?
Yeah, so that conversation did happen. He was wearing a suit, and he was just saying how like we could have been there playing for the national championship, and just saying us how proud we were, or how proud of how he was on us. I think so. Just hearing that, and just seeing like constant FaceTime calls and phone calls throughout the quarantine really helped, us as a team, as confident.
All right, we'll go to Aaron Beard and then Jasmine Fritz. Aaron, go ahead.
Hey, Matthew. I'm sorry for any background noise in advance. I'm curious, a lot of the sports that have come back have been like outdoor sports, the NFL, baseball, soccer. I mean, the NBA and the NHL did it, but in really strict bubble conditions. I'm curious, do you have any worries about playing, an indoor sport during the pandemic, just the risks involved with that?
I wouldn't say that's that's not on my mind. I'm focused on winning games. And I think we just take care of ourselves, just be in our own bubble, and just be smart who we're around, and to take the precautionaries with like hand sanitizer, washing your hands. So just doing that, and then hopefully we can just focus on winning games for Duke.
Yeah, and to follow up, how different do you think it'll be this year? I mean, you got a taste of college basketball last year with, fans and students and bands, and yet things could be very different through much, if not all of the season, with fewer fans or no students. How different do you expect it to be?
I mean, it's gonna be a little different. I feel like the no fans is gonna be a little different. The camera crazes were great last year, so having no fans this year is really is not going to be so well. But I feel like we just got to create our own energy throughout the team to have our energy. Because last year, a lot of us played off the crowd. Because that crowd was always into it. So just playing with energy from the bench on the court, I think that's what we're gonna have to do this year to be successful.
All right, we'll go to Jasmine Fritz and then Brendan Marks. Jasmine, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, thanks for taking the time. So last year you were one of the new guys and there were existing players that helped get you acclimated to Duke. Have you been able to do that with some of the newer guys? And if so, in what ways?
Yeah. Last year, we had three great seniors, and Jack, J. Rob, and Javin, helped me out through practice, what practice is going to look like once the season starts, just like everything around campus. But, for this year, I'm just trying to do the same thing as last year, because I was really lost last year when I got here. So trying to help them, get to class, what coach likes, like what to do off the court, how to handle the academics. So I just try to help out the younger guys as much as I can.
Appreciate it.
All right, Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, thanks for taking the time. We didn't really get to sort of decompress the end of the season with you guys. I know everyone's sort of scattered, went back home, but just sort of overall, how would you evaluate your freshman year? What did you think you did well? What did you think you did poorly? And I want to follow up after that as well with what you just said about feeling a little bit lost when you first arrived last season.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it was just like a decent season. I'm just trying to last year, I was just trying to do the little things and just try to do a lot of things. And last year didn't go as expected for me, but I feel like everyone has their own path and just try to get better. I mean, that's just the main goal, is just try to get better. But I mean, strengths and weaknesses, everybody knows I can shoot, but I feel like, weaknesses, my strength last year, how I play defense. So I just try to take the weaknesses last year and try to make them strengths during the offseason.
And when you mentioned in response to what Jasmine said, feeling a little bit lost when you first got there, is that just, is that Duke specifically, or is that just navigating the jump to, college basketball from high school, or what exactly did you mean by that?
Just navigating everything, the campus where we're living, the food areas, like how we pay for food and everything. So just trying to get used to everything. But once I settled in the first couple of months, I thought it was I settled into it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go Ben Swain, then Evan Colin, and Charlie Mickens. Ben, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, I gained a lot of weight over quarantine too, so we have that in common. You talked a lot, or the players have talked a lot about forming the team and how it's been different this year. Forget the team and think college basketball in general. How connected do you feel to the landscape of college basketball? Like, do you guys have any idea who's good, who's your main competition out there, or does it feel like you're very isolated with nobody really knowing anything right now?
I mean, seeing last year, we know most of the teams that are going to be good this year, but overall, we're just trying to focus on ourselves, just try to get better as a team, as individuals, as coaches, is everything. So we don't try to focus on who we play when we play them. It's just whoever's next on our schedule. We're looking forward to playing them.
So that's the same as last year. It's not any different this year with things being so disjointed.
No, I feel like last year was the same thing. We were just trying to get ready for the next game, and the next game mentality was always our goal.
All right, Evan, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, thanks for taking the time today. And I just wanted to go back to, focusing on the offseason, on improving on the defensive end of the floor. Outside of really putting on strength and putting on weight, what else was a focus, I guess, for you over the offseason?
Definitely lateral quickness, guarding, smaller players. So we could switch like 1 through 4, 1 through 5. So just try to get with my strength coach and just try to work on those things, especially.
All right, Game Day Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, Matt, I guess more on those same lines there. What do you have to do to make yourself a more consistent player this year, to be in a starting lineup more and be on the floor more this year?
I think it starts on defense, getting stops, keeping my guy in front, getting rebounds, and offense, man, just being aggressive, just having an aggressive mindset. Coaches telling me to shoot, a lot of threes this year, and just attack the rim and show that I'm a versatile player.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go Brian Geisinger, Tom Shanahan, and Brian Horace. Brian Geisinger, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, you're obviously a great shooter. That's probably going to be the top of any opposing scouting report. We've talked a little bit on this call already about you gaining weight, working on lateral quickness. Was you spend any time this offseason on sort of working counters to teams that are going to close out hard on you? So, being able to attack off the catch or speeding up the shot a little bit from the perimeter?
Yeah, I think Coach Shire and Coach K have really preached getting my shot off a lot quicker. Last year, my shot wasn't as quick as it should be, but I feel like just getting my shot preparation is a lot different than it was last year. But yeah, just working on counters, going right, going left, having different moves in the post. So just trying to have a lot of counters because the defense is gonna scout me and scout the team. So I think just having different counters is gonna help me.
All right, we'll go Tom Shanahan and then Brian Horace. Tom, go ahead.
Okay. Hey, Matt, thanks for doing this. Hey, if college basketball is like college football, we're going to see a lot of guys with COVID infections, maybe tracing, and they can't play. However, Duke football hasn't suffered that like a lot of other programs. I wonder if, are you guys aware of that? Are you practicing the same protocols, what Duke football is doing, both, on campus and whenever the players leave campus?
Yeah, we're just trying to be as safe as possible. We're in a hotel. We're just trying to stay by ourselves, stay as a team. But protocols, we have an app every day that we sign in how we're feeling, everything. So I feel like just doing that, and our training staff does a great job of asking us how we're feeling, and then the contact tracing. But we've all been good. So I think just keep what we're doing is going to help us be successful and have a good season. So no one misses any time.
Thank you.
All right, Brian Horace, go ahead.
Hey, Matthew, thanks for taking the time again. Last season, you and Joey Baker both shot 39% from three, roughly. Do you see the three-point shot being more of a strength this year than last year? And also, who wins in that three-point contest between you, Joey, and DJ?
Yeah. Wait, what was your first question?
Do you think the three-point shot is going to be more of a strength this year than last year?
Yeah. We in the freshman class, we have some great shooters. So I think just taking what the defense gives us, if it's more threes, if it's more drives, but I feel like I think it just depends on, who we're playing and what their playing style is. And then who wins the 3-point contest. I don't know. Like, I felt, well, of course I'm gonna be confident with myself, but I mean, Joey and DJ are, are also good shooters as well. So.
All right, we'll go Vashti Hurt, Ben Swain, Evan Cohen. Vashti, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Matt. Thanks for your time. From the 5-on-5s or scrimmages, inter-squad scrimmages, what are some of, or what is the strength? What will be the strength of this team? And can you talk a little bit about the freshman class and what you've seen from them so far?
Yeah, our strength, I think just, getting stops and getting out in transition. We have a lot of athletic guys on our team, and just showing what they're capable in transitions is very special. And then for the freshman class, each one of them brings a unique skill set. I'll start off with Henry. His energy, rebounding, does a great job with it. Brings it every day. That's what he brings. Mark, shot blocker, can finish. Really good lob threat. As you know, Jalen, out in transition, very special, very special. Jamin really can shoot it, can defend, can drive. He surprised me a lot too. And then of course DJ can really shoot, can really handle, can really get to the rim. And then Jeremy, just really good point guard, really calm point guard. So I think our freshman class is really good, and I think they don't get as much attention as they should. So I think they're just all really good.
Thank you.
All right, Ben, you're up.
Yeah, so everybody's going to see Wendell Moore's tip in against UNC on every highlight package this year. A play that you made last year that was probably equally as important was the offensive rebound against Florida State, which is going to make no highlight reels at all. Is there a lesson there for the younger guys to see how that dirty work play kind of pays off? And is that something that you're looking forward more towards this year, to bring in that dirty work and those dirty plays to your game?
Yeah, last year, I don't think I competed in the way that I should and the way I'm capable. So I think just, showing some glances, with that rebound was a good example of showing the younger guys what it takes to get a rebound in the ACC. So just because a couple of the clips in practice, they were showing, charges, deflections and everything. So just the little plays that add up to big plays that coaches is emphasizing. But yeah, the offensive rebound was I thought was probably one of my best plays last year.
All right, Evan Cohen, Brendan Marks, and then JB Ricks. Evan, go ahead.
Yeah, so one big difference on this year's team compared to last year's is having sort of that big athletic point forward in Jalen Johnson. And a lot of the players so far have already talked about how fast the team is going to play this year. So how does that change, what you need to do, as sort of a shooter on the offensive end of the floor?
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna try to play fast. And for me as a shooter, I think just getting to my spot, if it's in the corner, if it's the trail spot, if it's the wing, just running, not looking back for the ball, but just running head down, just getting to my spot for early transition threes.
All right, Brendan, go ahead.
Hey, Matt, I had a chance to speak with Coach Shire a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that he was saying was, Matt's as good as anybody that we have. For him, it's just more of a mental issue and thinking that he is that good and sort of accepting that he is that good. What has your mentality been like the past couple of months, from the end of the freshman season, and what sort of, I guess, mental challenges have you faced in trying to come to that acceptance of the potential talent that you are?
Yeah, my mentality, I think changed a lot since last year. I think just being aggressive, and just trying to be the best player on the floor each time, whether it's on my team or whether it's on the floor. But I think just trying to be aggressive and just trying to shoot my shots that I've practiced my whole life, and so yeah.
Does that sort of tie in with what you were just saying about competing on every play, tying off Ben's question about the offensive rebound?
Yeah, just competing every play, just changing my mentality to being aggressive, playing better defense, talking more, helping the younger guys be better. So,
thank you.
All right, we'll go JB, Brian Horace, and then Brian Geisinger. JB Ricks, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, Matt? Thanks so much for taking out this time. I'm really intrigued by the 20 pounds of extra muscle that you have kind of put on going into your upcoming year. is becoming, you have a versatile game. There's no question about that. But do you want to become more of a dominant force inside of the paint this year? And on top of that, what else do you want to add to your game as you prepare for your upcoming season?
Yeah, just trying to be in the post more. I'm a lot more comfortable in the post, whether it's a bigger guy or a shorter guy. I mean, that's usually stronger than me last year. So I think just knowing that, I had 20 pounds and that I feel a lot, my base feels a lot better. So I think just using that more in the post, but also I like driving too. So I think just being stronger with the ball. There's gonna be a lot of people trying to swipe at the ball when I'm driving the lane, but just trying to be strong and just go through contact.
I appreciate you.
All right, we got time for a couple more. We'll go Brian Geisinger, Brian Horace, Jim Sumner to wrap it up. So Brian Geisinger, go ahead.
Matt, so much of the offense last season went through Trey. Running the show in transition, distributing out of the pick and roll. Trey's gone this year. Obviously, a lot of good ball handlers on the roster: Jalen, DJ, J Gold, Wendell, Jeremy. How do you see the sort of like the primary creation or half court creation being distributed this year? Do you think it is a sort of like it's just going to be whoever's hot that night, or I don't know? Do you think it's going to be a little more diversified in terms of like who's initiating offense this season?
I feel like we have like a lot of guys this year that can handle the ball and can distribute. So I think it's not going to be just one guy. I feel like it's going to be a lot of players, different games. Whether it's Wendell, whether it's Jeremy, DJ, Gold. So I think it's just depend on the game. But I feel like any of them can handle any type of pressure. So I'm confident in them bringing and passing the ball up.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, Brian Horace, go ahead.
Hey, Matthew, there was a question about leadership earlier. Has the staff talked to you about what it means to be a leader at Duke?
Yeah, just try to lead by example and also lead by talk, especially on the court. Because last year, I was pretty quiet, especially on defense. But so this year, I'm just trying to take that next step and just be more comfortable around them. But also just leading by example off the court, whether it's classes, whether it's not missing any meeting, just trying to like let the guys know that everything and everything here is important.
All right, Jim Sumner, you got the last question. Go ahead.
Matt, Brian kind of took my question. I was going to ask you about leadership. The two guys who've been around the program a long time, or the longest, are Jay Gold and Joy. Have they kind of assumed the leadership responsibilities on the team?
I wouldn't say. I mean, I feel like everyone can lead. I don't think you don't have to be an older guy with experience. I feel like, me, Wendell, some of the walk-ons that have experience can lead as well because they've been here, know what practice is like, know what the game's like, daily routines. So I feel like it could be a lot of people, and it also could be the freshmen. Once the season starts, once the season starts, and they know like what's going to happen with the games and practices and everything. I feel like anybody can lead. So.
All right, Matt, really appreciate you taking the time today. Best of luck this season. We'll talk again at some point soon, but thanks again for your time, and everybody, thanks for hopping on. Like I said, we'll follow up later.